Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to round number 2 of the Season 12 WOR World Championship season, here for tier number 9. Once again, my name is xSmithyx and I'll be your commentator for today and for the rest of the season, so very excited to be here. As always, the chat is up, so please do drop messages in the chat. I will try and interact with you as this session goes on. But we are here today, as I said, for round number 2 for Imola, one of F1's most famous circuits, and we are in for a very exciting race. If anyone did watch last week's stream, it is up on the channel if you would like to go back and watch it. We had a mental race around Belgium for the season opener, absolutely incredible race, and the controversy didn't end after the race finished. The stewards got involved and there was a change of race winner. So for anyone who is interested or anyone who missed, let's take a look at what happened last week when we went racing around Belgium. Season 12 got off to a fantastic start for the AlphaTauri of TTM Moraine, coming around the final corner in qualifying and right at the death snatching pole position away from Sazner of Volvo by 0.2 of a second. However, things would not stay as peachy for the AlphaTauri man. A poor getaway from the line meant he was down to P4 before even getting to La Source, and while he did get a good run down the Kemmel Straight, his attempt at retaking the race lead ended in disaster as he tried to go side by side into Lecom, made contact with the inside curb, contact with the Haas, and that left him in last position. However, that would not be the only contact on lap 1, a slew of drivers diving into the pits to replace damaged front wings, one of them being DJ Perks, who would then go on to spin a second time and once again lose his front wing. He wasn't the only one having issues though, Jack crashing on the exit of Stabilo, and that brought out the first safety car of the race. Third place man TCC Layton had to dive into the pits during the safety car for a change of front wing, as a load of drivers came into pit for hard tyres in an attempt to go all the way to the end of the race without making another pit stop. Once the action got back underway, an ambitious opportunistic move by FRT Alpha into the final chicane left him in a tight battle with those around him, and with so many cars in close proximity, the inevitable happened. Side by side through Air Rouge, contact was made, and Andrew, Alpha and Josh all retired in one go and brought out another safety car. This allowed the soft runners at the front as Slazenger, Volvo and Tommy to come into the pits, but Jacob and Stone Elk decided to stay out as they were on the alternate strategy. Once the race got underway though, it went from bad to worse for Rain, losing his front wing and ultimately retiring from the Grand Prix. Slazenger, Volvo and Tommy Reel went to work as they tried to fight their way back through the field. This very scary moment coming through Air Rouge and Radion, with Ludd losing control of his car, meant that Slazenger just narrowly avoided him and moved up to P6 as he went about charging after the medium runners of Jacob. And speaking of Jacob, this is where the controversy started. A 3-second tyre penalty for running slightly wide out of no name would really compromise his race. Slazenger, Volvo and Tommy on the mediums continued to fight their way through the field as Tommy made an ambitious dive into the bus stop chicane on Ludd, who was on the hards. The two went side by side, and unfortunately contact on the exit of the corner unsettled the Red Bull and saw him spin out of a great position and down into 10th. However, Ludd would immediately retire after this and bring out yet another safety car. This was perfectly timed for Jacob as he made his one and only pit stop onto softs, and many others chose to come into the pits and also fit the soft tyres. However, Tommy and Valtteri rolled the dice and took track position by not pitting and staying out on some very worn medium tyres in the hope that they would be able to hold off the pack behind. Red Bull's race began to fall apart though under the safety car, as Layton would get not one but 2 5-second time penalties for contact caused by poor connection issues, which would massively drop him out of contention for the race victory. Once the racing got underway, Tommy knew he had to build a gap to the soft tyre runners of Jacob behind, but Jacob, with a fantastic restart, was able to get past Valtteri before the first corner, meaning that Tommy really had it all to do in the final 7 laps, trying to hold off people on much fresher and much younger tyres than himself. He put up a great defence trying to hold off Jacob, but this fantastic move around the outside just 1 lap later meant that Jacob had the lead and could now go about trying to build the gap to try and offset his 3-second time penalty. However, he would not be able to do that very easily. This massive collision into the final corner that saw 3 people get damaged and saw CSI Jan given a 15-second time penalty post-race caused yet another safety car in this one, meaning that all the lead that Jacob had built was wiped out in one fell swoop and left him with just a couple of laps to go in order to try and build the 3-second gap over Tommy and Slazenger of Volvo, both of whom didn't have penalties. As the race restarted, Tommy sent a huge dive as he tried to hold the AlphaTauri man back, however it failed to materialise, and as they headed down towards Eau Rouge, he decided to let TCC Layton go and try and chase down the AlphaTauri man in order to try and slow him down and give himself the best chance of victory. However, it wasn't to be. Jacob did manage to hold on to the track position, but he was unable to build the 3-second gap he needed to Slazenger of Volvo to keep the race. So while he won it on track, Slazenger of Volvo was your winner. However, the controversy wasn't done there. Post-race, the stewards decided that Jacob got one of his warnings for avoiding a collision on the first lap of the race and subsequently removed it. This meant that with only 2 warnings, Jacob's 3-second time penalty was actually removed, meaning that he ended up as your race winner for the Belgian Grand Prix, stealing it in the steward's room away from Slazenger of Volvo. So after the Grand Prix, here are your standings heading into round number 2. Jacob leads the way for AlphaTauri ahead of Slazenger of Volvo in the Haas. The Red Bull pairing of Tommy Riehl and Leighton came home P3 and P4 after Leighton got one of his 5-second penalties removed due to bad connection. Minx dropped down to P5 after that penalty was removed, with Valtteri, Mainbred, Leon, Stonelk and Mezzanator rounding out the top 10. So that's how things look after round 1. How will they look for the end of round number 2? Let's head down to the action and find out. Yes, so a very controversial outcome for the very first race of the season. A race decided in the steward's room after the Grand Prix. Hopefully, this time we won't have the same and we will know our race winner by the end of it. Now, as you can see, we've got quite a few drivers in here today. There has been one driver change that we need to make you aware of. FRT Alpha has unfortunately had to drop down to being a reserve driver, which means that FGE Ethan makes his first appearance this season, as he is now a full-time Alfa Romeo driver. We also have ETE Nicky for the very first time. The Flying Finn will actually take the start in the Aston Martin today. Obviously last week he was replaced by Stone Elk. We are waiting on a couple of people. TCC Leighton is just waiting. I believe we're just waiting for a couple of people now. So the action will be getting underway very, very shortly indeed. Let me know in the chat, who are you predicting for this race? Obviously, are you going for last race's race winner? Are you going to say that Jacob will make it back to back? Is Slazenger of Volvo going to be able to take a race win that was taken away from him last time out? Will TTM Rain be able to actually keep it on the circuit this week, or will someone else make a surprise? Do let me know your predictions in the chat of who you think is going to win this Grand Prix. But Imola, very, very interesting circuit, very difficult. I believe we have someone in the lobby who shouldn't be in here, so I believe they're about to get kicked. But yeah, hopefully you will enjoy the stream. If you are, as always, do leave a like. It does massively help out with the YouTube algorithm, pushing this out to other people who may be interested in this kind of content. And also, we are so close to hitting 400 subscribers, so if you are enjoying this, you want to see more of this, and you want to see more of me personally league racing as well, then please do consider hitting the subscribe button and helping us out with that goal. But like I said, we are just waiting for a couple of people. Yes, there we go. Shumi has now been kicked. I just need to get a link very, very quickly. FG Ethan going to shock you all. Well, it remains to be seen. There are some incredibly quick drivers in this tier, so you never know. He could pull a surprise. Be very, very interesting to keep an eye on him as this race goes on. Apologies, I just need to very quickly get a link for the stream, just so WOR can tweet it out to everybody. So let me just do that very quickly and I'll be with you in 2 seconds. Okay, apologies for that. We are back. We are now ready. And we will be going, I believe it's just been put in the Discord chat, we are going in 2 minutes time. So very, very excited for this one. As always, let me know your predictions. If you have any questions about WOR or anything like that, then do let me know in the comments and I will get round to answering them. The chat is up, so again, I will be able to interact with you guys. Trying to work out who we're waiting on. I think there are just 1 or 2 people now that we are waiting on. I think we're waiting on a replacement. Oh no, Slazenger Revolver has got a teammate. Yes, we have QBR 20 Term racing tonight in the Haas. Jack is not racing in the McLaren, so unfortunately we won't be able to see him. Obviously, if you did follow Tier 9/10 last season, you will have seen Jack got an absolutely dominant win around here. So it's a shame for him that he is not going to be able to race today, and we are also going to be missing Abe Turner, or W Turner from last week. He is also unable to race today due to conflicting commitments. So this is your grid at the moment. Like I said, we should be going anytime now, actually. I think we're just waiting for the go-ahead from the tier coordinator. And then we can get this show on the road, which we're very, very excited out. Obviously, Imola, a very tricky circuit. The weather is very unpredictable around here. It can be very easily affected by weather. And obviously, if you do follow WOR and you saw the incident at the end of the Tier 1 race, DRS is very, very important around this track, and drivers will do quite a lot to be able to get hold of it. So that's going to be something we keep an eye on today. Obviously, we hope for no shenanigans, but, you know, we are here for the drama, and hopefully it makes for an exciting race. It does look like we are readying up now, so we are about to get underway for round number 2 of the season. Obviously, like I said, if you do go on to enjoy this, please do leave a like, and if you are new around here, do consider subscribing, as we are about to get underway. My prediction for today, I think I'm going to go with Slazenger Volvo. I think is my pick for today's race. He was very, very quick last week. I don't know, I haven't seen anyone's time trial times or anything like that, so I don't know who's going to be quick around here, but hopefully it's going to be close, because that is what we all want to see. We don't want to see someone running away with it. We like to see close racing, and as always, Tier 9 has the potential to throw up some absolute chaos. But here we go then, about to get underway for the Imola Grand Prix, or the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, so let's roll the intro and get ready. Smithy filling in for it like a champ, yep. Sorry, let's get ready for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
On his debut, Jarno Uppbeat wins at Spa.
It's Martinez in Montreal. David beats Goliath.
It's a true underdog story. John Evans wins at Mexico.
And it's Super Sam Corby who takes the PlayStation Championship.
FRA Ronhard takes his first WOR Championship. He is your Xbox champion.
And Jake Benham is a two-time WOR champion.
Dobbin around the outside operated line shadow. His contact again, Ronhard is around.
Melanie, surely is going to win here at Abu Dhabi. He does.
15 races across 5 continents. From Brazil to Belgium and Bahrain to Britain. Soon this story starts. Across 3 platforms, hundreds will begin the quest. The quest in search of glory and the right to be called a WOR champion. Lights out, and we're racing in Season 12.
Last week we saw a dramatic and controversial season opener, and if the drivers thought things were going to get any easier for them in round 2, they were sorely mistaken. The heavens have opened here in Italy, and a damp and slippery track surface awaits them as they attempt to tackle one of F1's most famous circuits, Imola. Acqua Minerale, Piratella, Tosa, all tricky corners to get right in the dry, but even more so in these conditions. Lying on the banks of the Saterno River, Imola snakes its way anti-clockwise for a lap distance of 3.1 miles. 19 corners, 10 to the left and 9 to the right, make up a very demanding lap, and with the Tamburello chicane at the start of the lap being the only real overtaking opportunity, track position will be absolutely critical. Let's see who will get it as we head down to the track for qualifying for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. So, as you can see, the heavens have opened and we have a wet qualifying session here at Imola, as if this track isn't already difficult enough. Let's get everything set up for you. We need... Well, the tyre's going to be pretty useless. Everyone's going to be on wets. We need that, and we need the full track map. So, who is out on a lap first? It looks like we are looking at... Lud A10 will be our first person on a lap today, so let's ride on board then as he sets the first lap in anger around the Imola circuit, coming through the Villeneuve chicane here, taking it very, very tentatively by the looks of it, and not a surprise in these kind of conditions as we head into Tosa. Again, taking it very cautiously, don't want to spin out at this stage in qualifying. It's just important to get a lap on the board. Looks like we have a slow Alpine, looks like he's just letting a few cars go there as Lud heads down towards Piratella. Very, very easy to invalidate the lap here. You can see he's taking it so cautiously through there as we head down now to Acqua Minerale, one of the most famous corners in the whole of Formula 1. Takes that fairly cautiously, very, very slowly, but you know, just trying to get used to the conditions as we head towards Variante Alta, the chicane at the top of the hill. Takes a lot of curb through there as he now heads down the hill once again towards the two Ravazzas. Looking like a pretty steady lap here from Lud. Let's see what he can do as he heads down the hill. Will he spot his braking point nicely? Yes, he does, as we get an awful camera angle here. Thank you, Codemasters. But it does look like he is backed out there, so this won't be a particularly good lap. It does look like the Haas behind of QBR20 turn will be the one we need to keep an eye on. So Lud crosses the line and goes quickest with a 25.4. Turn crosses the line and goes immediately about 3 seconds quicker on a 25.8. We have a Mercedes about to cross the line. Is that DJ Perks? Yes, it is. He goes into P number 2. And we have a Red Bull starting a lap, and then one of the Alpines, I believe that's Stenner, just starting its outlap. Mainbred on a lap now for McLaren, set 55.9 through the middle sector. He goes into P number 2. Followed by Mercedes starting a lap, one of the Alpines about to cross the line now. TTM Rain goes up to P number 2, and then is that Nicky crossing the line? Yes, it was. He went into P number 5. We've got Leon here, like I said, one of the drivers in the top no assist tier last season. He is coming up to the line now. What can he do? It's looking like a half decent lap. Crosses the line. It is P6 for him on a 24.9. Next up, we have last time's race winner, Jacob. He is about to cross the line. What can he do? He goes second with a 23.1. No one yet able to challenge that lap from turn. Andrew coming up to the line. It's not looking like a particularly good lap for him, but he might be going for multiple laps here. Goes P9 with a 25.6. And then one of the Red Bulls. Which one is that? It's not Tommy. Oh, it was Tommy, and he's crashed. Tommy Real is out of qualifying. Finished in P4 last time out. Schlesinger has invalidated. But that's going to be absolutely crucial in this race. One of the top drivers from last week already out. Lord is 6 tenths up. He crosses the line and improves as Term once again goes quicker. Over a second faster than everyone else already. That is incredible. If you look at the gap to the leader, he's got a second gap over everyone. That's absolutely mental. As Leighton now pops up into P2. I believe Stenner's about to set a lap, is he? He must have invalidated because his lap hasn't counted. We have a Mercedes about to come over the line. It is WOR Valtteri, but it's not looking like a particularly spectacular lap as he crosses the line and goes P11. Jacob, that was Jacob actually. No, sorry, Rain. He has just gone up to P3. Nicky goes P5, and a McLaren is in the pits. Have we got Josh about to cross the line? Now we do, but he has invalidated his lap. So we move on to the Aston Martin of Leon L50. Keeps it tight to the wall and goes into P number 8. Jacob's going around for another lap. He's half a second up, so a good lap from him here. He goes into P number 2 on a 22.5 there as the track does appear to be getting quicker. Jan, it's not Jan next, it is GRT Andrew. He's half a second up as well. Can he improve? He does, and just pips Lud there but to P number 9, and just 1,000 slower than Leon, so incredibly fine margins. Volvo is next up. He has crashed as well. Oh my word, 2 of the top 4 drivers from last week already out of qualifying. What an absolute disaster for him. That is not what he will have wanted today. Who has just crossed the line? That was Lud. He now goes up into P8 after a small improvement, but that is an absolute shocker there. The Haas man. Oh, the other Haas nearly joins him. What is going on out of that final corner? The drivers really appear to be struggling with traction coming out of there. We have... That is not who I thought it was. Josh is in the pit, so it's Stenner. He's crossed the line. He looks like he is invalidated yet again, though. So he's struggling so far with the conditions. We have Valtteri going up into P8, one of the Alphas, about to cross a line, but no improvement there. Nicky crosses the line, but doesn't improve. And obviously TCC Leighton, the only Red Bull left, he was on a cooldown lap by the looks of it, or made a mistake. Is it Nicky about to cross the line? No, it's Leon. Can he improve? Comes across the line, and unfortunately validates a lap that would have put him ahead of Lud for P10. So that's unfortunate for him there. Is it Andrew coming through the first Ravazza? Yes, it is. He's about to come across the line now. What can he do as he comes through this final sector? Not spinning, unlike we've seen a couple of people. He is about to come into the pits. So that unfortunately makes a mess of what I was saying. Let's go on board then with Spieler. I have no idea how to pronounce that, so we're just going to call it Spieler. He is coming through towards Variante Alta at the top of the hill. What is he set? He's set at 55.3, so a half decent effort through the middle sector. Using a lot of curb there on both sides just to help get that car rotated, and a good exit as we head down the hill towards the two Ravazzas. It's a beautiful little camera shot here. It doesn't really help us when it gets to the apex of the next corner because we can't see anything. But he's about to come round the second to last corner. He takes that nice and tidily. Oh, there's been a spin there right in front of him. That might have put him off a little bit and cost him just that little bit of lap time. But he comes across the line. It's P5 for the Williams driver on a 23.3. One of the Alpha Tauri is about to cross the line. It's Rain. He goes up to P2 now with a fantastic lap from him. And who is next across the line? Looks like one of the Ferraris. Is that Jan? He's not got a time on the board yet, but it's not looking like a particularly good lap so far from him either. He will cross the line and go slowest of all so far. Leon 6/10 up. He jumps all the way up to P7 alongside his teammate ECE Nicky. So a good lap from him there. And it looks like Leighton's about to cross the line again, but does not set a lap time. We have an Alfa Romeo by the looks of it, who has spun. That's FGE Ethan on his debut. Unfortunately spinning in qualifying. Oh, that's a bit close there as he looks to have blocked DJ Perks a little bit. DJ Perks 1/10 of a second up in the Mercedes. This could be enough to see him jump ahead of Mainbred in the McLaren. Sorry, I forgot words for a second there. Heading down to the Ravazzas. We'll go on board because this is a much easier camera angle to see. Comes around the first Ravazza, takes it to the white line, turns it in, careful not to touch those sausage curbs. And as he comes out of the final corner, what is this lap going to be? Is it going to be an improvement for the Mercedes driver? Yes, it is. He pitched Mainbred and goes up into P8. Looks like Ethan is about to start his lap. And who is behind him? That looks like it's one of the Williams. But we'll go on board with FGE Ethan as he is about to set his first lap in anger in WOR Tier 9 this season. So as we head down towards Tamburello, hitting the brakes midway through that curb, turning in, taking it very cautiously. You want to clip both of those curbs, try and keep the car as straight as possible as we go through the last part of Tamburello, and then focus your attention for the Villeneuve chicane, turning in just before the end of the curb. Hit that curb on the inside. You really want to mount that curb there, which he does very well. A little bit squirrely on the exit. Next up, we have the Tosa hairpin. A little bit of a lock-up, it looked like there on the inside, and a lot of oversteer on the exit. So running a very aggressive setup by the looks of it is Ethan as we head down towards Piratella. Dab on the brakes, turn the car in, maybe a little bit more in these conditions. Careful with the track limits on the exit. DJ Perks has retired into Aqua Minerale. We're about to see his car as we come through here. He'll be on the right-hand side. Ethan has locked up massively, though. There is DJ Perks out of the session, and it looks like Ethan has abandoned that lap. So let's jump ahead with Spieler. He is 3/10 up coming into the next part of the lap as he goes through Variante Alta there. So what can he do? He's looking to try and challenge TCC Leighton, who obviously finished 4th last time out. That is going to be his goal as he comes through these last couple of corners. Already only 7 minutes of qualifying to go as this has absolutely flown by in these tricky conditions. 4 drivers out and 4 very quick ones at that. So Spieler comes up to the line. What can he do? P4. It's a great lap from him at 22.9. Who have we got coming across the line next? I believe that's Stenner about to start his lap. Yes, it is. Then we have one of the McLarens. That will be Mainbred. Is he on a lap? He's 6/10 up. This could be a mega lap from him. Crosses the line up to P4 for the McLaren driver. Absolutely fantastic work from him as he fills in for Jack. What can Jan do? He crosses the line, goes up to P12, pips his teammate for best of the rest at the moment. Lobby will be restarted after quali is done, mate. Spieler shouldn't be here. Ah, right, okay. Wasn't aware of that. So we will have a reset after qualifying, which will make things a little bit more interesting for the stream. Who have we got coming around the final corner now? It's Jacob about to set a lap. He is improving very, very close, but that lap from turn still unbeaten. What an absolutely incredible lap from him as one of the Alphas now crosses the line. That's Mesonator about to start a lap. Who have we got coming out the final corner? It's Lud. He was half a second up, but has unfortunately invalidated that one, which means that OAP Big Boy, I think that's how you pronounce that, he is going to be setting the next lap time coming through. Oh no, sorry, he's on an outlap, isn't he? Behind him is Rain, also on an outlap. Let's find the next driver on an actual lap. I believe it's Ethan. He's 5 seconds up, but already he's done a lap that's 7 seconds down. So don't be expecting this to set the world alight. What can he do? Coming up to the line, hugs the wall on the left. It's a 23.4, which puts him in 9th position at the moment. Stenner, oh my word, what a lap from him. He's jumped all the way up to P4. Is the track evolving? Is the track getting quicker? It does appear that it is, as Mainbred now goes up to P3. We've got a car off there, not entirely sure. It looks like he's just staying out of the way. One of the Ferraris is about to cross the line. That's Jan, but he has invalidated that. Let's find TCC Leighton. Oh, he's about to start an outlap. Nicky's there. Leon, who is the next driver actually on a lap? It's Rain, but he's bottled that. Is he out? Oh, he's lost his front wing. Jacob, coming around the last couple of corners, is not on a particularly special lap, unfortunately. Spieler is not supposed to be here, but he's currently P6, so, you know, decent pace, even though he's not meant to be here. Who else have we got? Lud is now about to come around the final corner. Invalidated his last effort. He is on a lap this time. No, he's not coming into the pits. That's a interesting decision there, because he was up by quite a lot. It's not Ethan next. It is Mesonator. He has also invalidated, unfortunately. Big Boy also invalid. Can we find someone on an actual lap? We have Ethan. He is a further half a second up on this one. Locks up a little bit there going into the first Ravazza, so clearly not using ABS. Struggling a little bit with the braking. Gets a little bit of a slide coming out the final corner. What can he do though? Up to the line. Stays over. Big Boy has retired from the session. Ethan goes up into P6. That's a great lap from him there. Is it Mainbred next on a lap? It is. Is he improving? I'm not too sure. No, he's about to come into the pits. We have an Aston Martin of Nicky. He has also invalidated. Valtteri about to start a lap. It's hard trying to find an actual driver. Finishing a lap here. Rain is coming in. Stenner is off the circuit. Leighton looks like he's about to finish a lap. He's 2 tenths up. So what can he do as he comes across the line? He goes P4. That's a great lap from him actually. A 22.5. Sets him up in P4 ahead of TTM Rain. We have an Aston Martin. I believe that will be Leon about to cross the line, but he does not improve, unfortunately. One of the Ferraris is on an outlap. And then Jacob, is he about to dive into the pits? Yes, he is. So, last couple of minutes now of qualifying. Everyone is, of course... Oh, as we join Josh, and Josh is out of the race as well. Out of qualifying, sorry. That was lucky timing there. Well, lucky or unlucky, depending on who you support. It looks like one of the Alfa Romeos. Is that Ethan? Is he on a lap? No, he's a second down. Lud appears to be pushing. I don't know if he's up or not because I haven't seen the sector time. We should probably, if we get the telemetry up, is he using his ERS? He is. So he... Sorry, this is Spieler, not Lud, so ignore me making absolute crofty errors here. Spieler coming round the last couple of corners, turns it in to Ravazza 2. Gets a nice bit of power on the exit. Like I said, he shouldn't be in the lobby, so he's going to get kicked. And we will restart after this, but he crosses the line and he does go fastest. So if he does decide to apply for WOR, it looks like he could be quite quick. Nicky, though, is next to come across the line. He does not improve, 4 tenths of a second down on his lap, as Leighton has invalidated what looks to be the start of a push lap through here. Leon is next up. He's slightly down, but has also invalidated. We've got a Ferrari getting out of the way of WOR Valtteri, but you can see he's already on a 1:35, so that is obviously not supposed to be a lap time there. Who is next? Lud is on an outlap. Ethan is a 10th down on his. Mesonator's on an outlap. So it looks like Ethan will be the next driver to set a lap time, but what can he do? Can he get the braking right? A little bit of a lock up there on the inside front. Keeps it nice and stable though through Aqua Minerale, sorry. Very difficult to do. He's ever so slightly down heading into Variante Alta. Takes that quite nicely. Careful on the exit not to invalidate that lap. But he does appear to have done that nicely. As we head down again to the tricky braking point of the first 2 Ravazzas. We'll switch away from the cockpit view. I realise I've been on that for quite a while now. That was very lucky not to be invalid there from Ethan, but he gets it around the final corner. What can he do as he comes up to the line? FGE Ethan does improve, but doesn't gain him any positions. We've got a McLaren behind us. Mainbred doesn't improve either. One of the Williams is about to cross the line. No, he dives into the pits. Nicky has invalidated. It's not Lud. Who is next? It is Stenner, but he is on an outlap. Jan also on an outlap. Such a short lap here, it's very difficult to find who we need to be following. It does appear that Leon is the next driver. He is invalidated as well. Is Leighton up? No, he's 12 seconds down. Is Valtteri on a lap? Hard to say, really, looking at his times. But we'll stay with the Mercedes driver as he comes through the last couple of corners, looking to improve. Can he get into that top 10? Obviously, everyone will have a free choice of tyre. Looks like he got a little bit of a slide there through the midpoint of the corner. But as he comes up to the line, what will it be for the Mercedes? It's an improvement up to P10. We've got Andrew has just pipped his teammate, unfortunately, just behind. Ethan has managed to crash out. Who do we need to get on board with to be able to see? We'll go on board with Nicky. Well, what has Ethan managed to do here? Coming through at variance altitude. He's not crashed on the left. I have no idea how he's managed to bin it there. That's rather impressive. Nicky with a purple middle sector, 0.4 of a second up on his lap. So this looks like a flyer for the Alpha. I really need to focus on what I'm actually saying, to be honest with you people. The Aston Martin driver, sorry, coming down towards the last two corners. Qualifying is now finished, so what can he do? This will be his last attempt coming round the final Ravazza corner. P9 at the moment, what can he do? Coming up to the line, he needs a big improvement to be able to jump any of the people in front of him, but it does look like a big improvement. He goes P7, what a fantastic lap that is. Stenner next up to the line, what can he do? He crosses the line, goes P3. The times really are ramping up now. Jacob is over, nearly 0.2 of a second up. This could be enough to put him on pole position if he can keep it tidy through these last couple of corners. Gets a nice exit there, a little bit of a squirm. Will it be enough, though, for pole position? He comes up to the line. No, he just misses out. Oh, my word, this is incredibly close. Leon, next across the line, goes into P10. We've got Leighton. He spun it. Oh, no, he's crashed into the pit lane. Not what he would have wanted. Who is the next driver? Lud has... Oh, he's invalidated a lap that he was miles up on. So it will be the Alfa Romeo of Mezzanator. Not set a particularly good lap so far. And a huge drift at the last corner. That is going to ruin his lap. Who is next up? It's TTM Rain, your pole sitter last time out. 1/4 of a second up. What can he do? As he crosses the line, TTM Rain goes second, 0.006 of a second down. Incredibly close. Jan is not going to improve on that lap. Mainbred has finished. So that is your qualifying session over for Tier 9. What an absolutely crazy session there. 5 drivers ending qualifying within 1/10 of a second. Stenner in P5, Jacob P4, Term in P3, and Rain finishing in P2 with Spieler at the top of the timesheets. Unfortunately, though, he shouldn't be in the lobby. So that means we will probably get a lobby restart. It does appear, Andrew in the chat, lobby will be restarted after qualifying. So we do need to go through that process, unfortunately. But that sets the stage for a very, very interesting Grand Prix. Obviously, a lot of retirements in these wet weather conditions. Losing some of the fastest drivers from last week with Schlesinger and Tommy both out, both finished in the top 4. We had Josh, who was quite quick last week. He's also out. And OAP, Big Boy, on his debut, also retiring. But a very, very impressive session. Very, very interesting to see just how close it is between those top 4 people. With Mainbred just a couple of tenths off. Leighton might have been expecting a little bit better from him. Just ahead of the Flying Fin. Nicky in what will be P7. Ethan will be P8 with Leon P9. And Valtteri will be P10. The Super Swede, sorry. Lud, unfortunately, only down in P12. Bit disappointing from him. And DJ Perks not fully bouncing back from his disappointing weekend last time out. However, we need to switch over to the new lobby now. So just give me 2 seconds while we try and get that set up. Unfortunately, this will lead to a little bit of a delay. But it shouldn't take too long. Hopefully to get everyone in and get everything underway. Obviously, it may be a dry race. If it is dry, then it will mean that all the drivers will have a free tyre choice, obviously because of wet qualifying. So that's going to be interesting to see what people choose to do. Excuse me. My voice is going a little bit there. Be interesting to see what people choose to do in terms of tyre strategy. Here we go, getting everyone in the session now. So what do we think of that qualifying then? Who do we think is in... Well, we know who's in pole position, but who do you guys think has got the best chance of winning this Grand Prix? Do let me know in the chat. I have got it up so I can read it. And we can get a little bit of interaction going, because we are all about this here on the xSmithyx channel. As always, if you are enjoying it, please do leave a like. It does massively help out in pushing this out to people who may be interested in this, and obviously help me gauge what people are enjoying and what they aren't. So I would massively appreciate that. And if you are new around here, we are oh so close to hitting 400 subscribers. I don't need that invite, Andrew. I'm already in. We are so close to hitting 400 subscribers. So if you would like to see more of this and other content that we have, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. So we are just going to get everyone in, and obviously then Andrew will need to set the lobby up with the results from that session. A little unlucky from Ethan, but race pace is his strong point. Yeah, Ethan was quite impressive in that session for a first timer, so be interesting to see what he can do. Everyone obviously just selecting the cars. We need to get everybody in before we can set the grid. Have I got anything I need to see in the Discord? No, everything appears to be just fine in the Discord, so just waiting for everybody to join, and then we can get this action underway, hopefully, for a good race. I believe the weather, let me just double check this, will be set to whatever it was in the lobby, so I don't know if anyone actually bothered to check it, because that's going to be a bit unfortunate. If we do get a dry race though, it will be very interesting. Obviously, it does tend to be a little bit of a bore fest around here in the wet, just because it is so difficult to overtake, with the only real overtaking point, as I said in the intro, being the... what was it? Words are very hard today, people. Being the Tamburello chicane, sorry. That's the only real overtaking point on the track after the long DRS zone coming out of the second Ravazza. So obviously in the wet, if you don't have DRS, there's not really anywhere to overtake. So hopefully it will be a dry race and we can have a pretty interesting one at that. So since you get a few people there just adding us as friends, probably just so they can join off us. Leighton needs to select his car. Does look like we have got someone trying to ruin the fun. Hopefully he doesn't join and Andrew can just kick him if he chooses to do so. Leighton has now picked his car. I believe then that this may just be everyone. But it will be QBR20 Term who takes pole position. He's one of the reserve drivers, so it's very, very surprising to see him absolutely smash pole like that. Someone has left, not entirely sure who that is. So who are we waiting on? I think we're just waiting on Josh and maybe one other person to get into the lobby. Yep, that's Josh. So it looks like we could just be waiting for one more and then we'll get underway. Obviously, unfortunately, if you have missed it, we have had to restart just due to someone who shouldn't have been in the session joining the session and subsequently getting pole position. So a little bit strange there. So it will be, I have not got it up, so it will have to be from memory. I believe the Haas of QBR20 Term, has he now left the session? It does appear that he has. So Term is trying to rejoin. He will have pole position for Haas. And beyond that, I actually can't remember. So if someone does remember in the chat and could let me know, that would be greatly appreciated. Just waiting for everyone to get in. I believe we're waiting on... See if we can get Term back in the session. Where is he? Looks like Term is unfortunately having a few issues getting back in, so that would be disappointing for him if he is unable to get back into the session. But everyone, let me know, are you enjoying it? What are your predictions for this race? Who do you think is going to win? Will it be one of the Haas drivers? Obviously, Slazenger or Volvo crashing out of qualifying, starting way back down the grid, as is the Red Bull of Tommy Rahal. Two of those drivers finished in the top 4 last week, so it's going to be interesting watching them try and fight back through. Are they going to do something different on strategy, or will they just try and force their way through everybody? It's going to be quite interesting to see what they are able to do. Obviously, Leighton in the top 7 or 8, I think it was, so he'll be trying to do well. Jacob, last time's race winner, looks like his connection is a little bit dodgy, but he was right up there again, so hopefully he can have a good race. And will we see some of the people lower down like Jan and Andrew, obviously very good race drivers, are we going to see those fight their way through the field? There's some interesting strategies and trying to keep it clean. Obviously, can Lud do anything? Prediction, me in a wall. Hopefully that doesn't come true. We want to see everyone trying to try and do well today. It's obviously never nice to see anyone retire, especially when it causes safety cars and ruins people's races. So hopefully nobody crashes, but if they do, you know, just that little bit of excitement for us all. Not going to say no to that. I am very quickly just going to run and get a drink because my voice is about to die. So I will leave you with this screen. I should only be a couple of minutes, people. And then hopefully we'll be able to get the action underway for the Imola Grand Prix. Last week we saw a dramatic and controversial season opener, and if the drivers thought things were going to get any easier for them in round 2, they were sorely mistaken. The heavens have opened here in Italy, and a damp and slippery track surface awaits them as they attempt to tackle one of F1's most famous circuits, Imola. Acqua Minerale, Piratella, Tosa, all tricky corners to get right in the dry, but even more so in these conditions. So perfect timing from us there as we are about to get underway. Let's all pretend we didn't see me accidentally press the wrong button while I went and loaded up one of the intros. Right. Sorry, a little bit out of breath trying to get back quickly, but looks like we are about to get underway here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, as I absolutely butcher Italian as per usual. Okay, so it looks like the person has been kicked and removed from the league, so hopefully they shouldn't be able to rejoin and ruin this. But it is a lovely, bright, sunny day for the drivers here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, so we will see some interesting tyre strategies play out, as obviously those outside the top 10 normally would be the only ones with free tyre choice, but everyone today is going to have that opportunity. So it does look like we are just waiting for a few people to load into the lobby. Not entirely sure what's going on, to be honest. But I imagine there probably will be a little bit of a break just while we let everyone load up and get setups and all that kind of thing. Yep, so just confirming, we will have a little 2-minute break. So now I've got to try and fill for 2 minutes, having used all my filler ages ago, so this is fun. Yep, term is in, thankfully, but I don't think... I believe he's going to be starting from last, because he's not got into the session in time. If he could even start at all, he might not be able to get into the session. That is an absolute disaster. He's not going to be able to take part in this race. He's about a minute too late. That's absolutely brutal for him, after such a good qualifying session as well. He's now not going to be able to take part in this race. Let's just say in the Discord, he's not particularly thrilled with that decision, so be interesting to see what happens after with that. So now, I'm not even sure who gets pole position now. Who was in third? Can anyone, does anyone remember? I certainly don't. Was it Jacob? It might be Jacob, I'm not entirely sure. But yes, thank you so much for everyone who is tuning in. I do really appreciate it. Like I said last week, this is only the second race I've ever commentated on. So if there are anything you think I could improve on, anything like that, please do let me know. I do take all constructive criticism on board, as hopefully we can put on a nice show for you guys. But hopefully this race will be nice and entertaining. Imola usually does throw up some quite interesting races. Obviously, I race in Tier 6. I had a race around here a couple of days ago, and it was pretty mental, let's say. So hopefully this race can provide yet more action for us. Does look like we will be getting ready to go. TCC Leighton P1. I don't think he should be. I thought Leighton qualified lower down than that. That's interesting then. So we'll see the grid in just a second as we're about to get ready for the formation lap. Let's get everything set back up as one of the cars there is messing about. No, it is a all Alpha Tauri front row. Right, let's get everything set up once again for the race. We'll go position change for the start. So let's run you through... No, that's the wrong button. Absolutely making a melt of this. Right, so let's run you through the grid order. It is TTM Rain with his second consecutive pole position to start out the season. Jacob starts alongside his teammate in P2, last time's race winner. He, interestingly, is... actually, let's go over to tyres. So most people starting on the mediums, that's interesting. Apart from Ethan and Lud, both choosing to start on the soft, so they will have an advantage early on, so keep an eye out on them. Yeah, but that's an interesting... Oh, God, Jacob lagging about a little bit there. Stenner starts in P3. It's a very good starting point for him. Obviously involved in that massive crash last time out, so he will be looking for a bit of a cleaner race this time. Mainbred, last time's reserved for Williams. He is now reserving for McLaren this time. He starts P4 ahead of TCC Leighton in position number 5. The Flying Finn on his debut this season, Nicky will be in P6 ahead of Ethan. Like we said, he is on the soft compound of tyre. Leon is in P7 in the second Aston Martin, just ahead of WOR Valtteri, and then the Williams of Lud rounds out the top 10. DJ Perks is in 11th for... Oh, there's been a collision there between Lud and Perks, so they are off the formation lap. But Perks in the Mercedes in P11 ahead of the two Ferraris. GRT Andrew this time claims the bragging rights over Jan in qualifying, with Mezzaneta P14 for Alfa Romeo on the mediums. Sasendro Volvo obviously unfortunately crashing out in qualifying. Last time's runner-up, winner on track before it was decided by penalties. He is going to start in P15 today, so going to have to see a fight back from him, with OAP Big Boy in P16, Josh 17 and Tommy Real rounding out the grid. But it looks like the leaders are about to get ready. This is probably one of the worst pole positions to have all season, just due to the fact that you are actually not pointing at the right angle for the track. So can Rain hold on to that pole? Will Jacob be able to do something? It looks like the grid is just forming up, waiting for the last couple of people now before we get ready for racing. Let me know your predictions in the chat. Who is going to come away from this race with the 25 or potentially 26 points. It remains to be seen, but here we go then. The lights haven't come on for some reason. Little bit awkward there, all the engines started to roar and then the lights haven't started, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Has the lobby broken? Well, this is awkward. Giving it all the big hype, and then nothing has happened. Please tell me the lobby's not broken again. Oh, here we go then. Time to go to 5 red lights. Can we get a back camera angle? Yes, we can. It's 5 red lights here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It is lights out, and away we go. And a pretty even start from the 2 Alpha Tauris out front. Looks like Jacob might have got a slightly better launch. Here comes Stenner trying to split the 2 of them. We've got a crash in the background. That's Tommy Reel without a front wing already. But it looks like, as they go side by side through turn 1, Jacob has gone very wide, cuts across the grass. We've got a lot of cars off in the background. But TTM Rain has defended his pole position. Stenner is up into P number 2. Leon and Mainbred have had shocking starts down 12 and 9 positions respectively. And Tommy Reel is at the back without a front wing. But it is Rain who leads us through. Stenner in P2. Leighton has sent one up the inside of Jacob, who's had a terrible start. He ran wide going through the first corner, but it looks like a little bit of contact might have been made there. Leighton's got on the grass, but Jacob is now through. Ethan up into P5 on those soft tyres, trying to make them work and get a move on to fight his way through the field. Nicky P6, a nice decent start for him, holding position. You've got DJ Perks up into P7, a great start for the Mercedes man. Little bit of a squirm there as Jan is already up into P8, like we were saying. Very, very interesting drive. We've got a couple of spinners maybe. Has Valtteri made a mistake? He has. He's dropped down a couple of positions there as he gets overtaken by Mainbred, but Josh not quite close enough to the back to be able to do anything about that. We've got Lud in P14. Sandro Volvo looks like he's kept it clean. Has he got a little bit of damage there? Not too sure. He doesn't appear. Yes, he hasn't got a front wing. That's disaster for him as his weekend goes from bad to worse. Big Boy P16, Leon 17, and Tommy also without a front wing right at the back. But out front, it is TTM Rain who leads us across the line, and he is already almost broken that 1 second window. We've got a battle here with Leighton trying to go around. Ethan trying to go around the outside of Leighton. Oh, and he's spun it. He's made contact with ET Nicky there. A little bit of damage, I believe, on the Aston Martin. It does look like he has. Yes, he has. That's so unfortunate, and that's our DJ Perks up into P5. What a great start from him, as I believe Nicky is about to fall down the field. The first one to pick him up will be Jan. He's going to send down the inside. What on earth has happened there? Jan is now apparently a lap down. I think we've had a timing glitch. What on earth has happened there? Jan is now apparently a lap down. I'm not sure I believe that. Mainbred has now got past Nicky, but obviously Nicky is going to fall away without that front wing. Where are the battles on track though? We've got Josh and Lud pretty close together. Oh, we joined Josh just as he bins it into a wall. So another driver finding this track particularly difficult. We've got Andrew all over the back of Nicky, expecting to make this move nice and easy. Coming up to the chicane. Yeah, it does look like Nicky is just letting go there with that front wing damage. Mainbred though, all over the back of Mesinator. Jan has got a timing glitch. He is actually ahead of Mesinator on track. Ethan and DJ Perks going side by side, contact there, and Ethan has just turned right across the nose of DJ Perks. That is surely going to be a slam dunk penalty after the race, as TTM Rain sets the fastest lap on a 17.9. But that was a little bit dirty there, I'm not going to lie. That's probably... what on earth is going on? That is probably going to be a slam dunk penalty there for Ethan. Turning across the nose of the Mercedes into the second Ravazza. Yeah, not really what you want to see. Interesting battle here brewing for P number 3. Jacob and TCC Leighton, 2 of the drivers right at the top last time. Josh has got a penalty for speeding in the pits, unfortunately. So that is not ideal for him, as he's already having to come into the pits. But if you look at the mini-map, you can see we've already got 2 races pretty much going on here. We've got the one at the front. Jan has retired now. I'm not sure what's going on with connection, to be honest. That's unfortunate for him, last season's runner-up. But we've got 2 races going on. We've got the main guys who haven't yet had to pit, and then all those right at the back praying for a safety car. It's pretty much the top 10, and then the rest of the field. So that's rather interesting as we continue this lovely aerial shot. Out front, Stenner is desperately trying to get into the DRS of Rain. But Rain at the minute is doing incredibly well. He's running away with it. It looks like Jacob has made a little bit of a mistake there, coming through the first part of the corner, and he's lost the DRS to Stenner in front. So this could be Leighton's opportunity to get this move done. Can he get past the Alpha Tauri driver coming through the second Ravazza? No, we've got a virtual safety car. So that's going to neutralise things. Not entirely sure what that's for. No one, I imagine, is going to dive into the pits at this point. So let's run you down the order while we have the chance. We've got Rain out front with that huge lead already. Well, huge by WOR standards. He already has a lead over Stenner of around 2 seconds. Jacob trying desperately to cling into the DRS of Stenner in P3 as he tries to hold off the Red Bull of TCC Leighton. Next up are the two Alfa Romeos, FGE Ethan, after that controversial contact with the Mercedes, the DJ Perks. I fully expect that to be a penalty after the race. Not the best for him, but he is obviously on the soft tyres, trying something a little different to those around him. Then we have Mezzanator in P6, running a little bit wide there, as Mainbred is going to try and pounce on him. Andrew is in P8 with Lud on the softs all over the back of him, so what can he do? And DJ Perks down in P10 after that spin. But it does look like out front that Rain hasn't got the best restart there, as he's lost quite a lot of time, and that has allowed Stenner right back onto the edge of the DRS, as Jacob is now back within Stenner's DRS, and that will help him to defend from TCC Leighton. As we look here with Lud, we've got a yellow flag. We've got an Alfa Romeo off. That's Mezzanator has spun. Stenner looks to have made a mistake as well, coming through Variante Alta. He has dropped like an absolute stone down there. Absolute disaster for him, showing absolutely great pace early on, as Leighton and Jacob now assume the final podium positions. Has Leighton stayed within DRS? He has. So he will get the drag reduction system coming down this very long straight, but he does look to be just a little bit too far back here to be able to make a move. So let's go back to Andrew and Lud, because Lud is 0.4 of a second back. He's got the DRS, he's on the softer tyres, and this should be a sitting duck move here for the Williams driver. Although Andrew is putting up a bit of a fight, no, it is an easy pass there as Lud flies straight back through and into P8. We have another yellow flag. It's Stenner again. Stenner has DNF'd on the outside there. Will that bring out a safety car? Yes, it does. So our first retirement of the race and our first safety car. That is going to be an absolute godsend for all those towards the back of the field who have already had to make pit stops. Going to bunch the pack back up. What a hectic start to this race we've had already. Absolutely mental. So we've got Jan, obviously, with connection issues. We had the big pile up at turn 1. Not entirely sure what happened with everyone there. And that's seen the likes of Slazenger of Volvo. Has he come into the pits? He has. I imagine, is he going to want some mediums? One of the Aston Martins is. That's ETE Nicky. I don't think he can get those to the end. Although you never know. Obviously, last season, if you are a regular to the channel, you know we did take a set of mediums 28 laps around here last year. So it is possible he could take those to the end, as Josh also comes in. He is serving his 5-second time penalty, so that will help clear that up. But it is Rain who will lead. I don't imagine any of these guys. Maybe Ethan could come into the pits here. He is on the soft compound of tyre, so he could get a free pit stop out of this, and that would massively help his race. Is he going to choose to pit? He does. So one of our first lead cars is in the pit. Will Lud choose to do the same when he sees that Ethan has come in? Mainbred is not coming in. That's interesting. I'm surprised Lud hasn't chosen to come in there. The usual, I think, pit window is around lap 11, lap 12 from memory. So I'm surprised he's decided not to come in there. But Ethan has pitted. The Alfa Romeos look like they're going to double stack, but Ethan is going to come out in P8 and isn't going to need to stop again, so that could be crucial to this race. If there are no more safety cars, Ethan could have just put himself in a fantastic position to win on his debut. That would be quite the story. So let's run you through that order. We have TTM Rain held his pole position this time. No incidents, unlike last time out at Belgium. He is your lead driver. His teammate Jacob had a pretty poor start, went off into the gravel, in fact, at turn 1. And dropped down to 4th. He has now recovered up to P2. Leighton in P3. All of these guys on mediums. What on earth is Jacob doing there? Oh, I think I know what's going on here. I think what they're trying to do is, by going off track, they're trying to allow it so Josh can unlap himself. But I don't think Leighton and Rain have got the memo, which means that Jacob has just lost position under the safety car. What is Josh doing? This is a little bit of a mess, as Leighton gets a penalty for a collision with Josh. Oh my word, this is... it's not ideal. It looks like Rain has let Josh go, but has Josh got to slow down? He has. Rain really needs to go off track. It's impossible to overtake Leighton because his Wi-Fi. Yes, that is a complaint that happened last week. Leighton has come into the pits now and has retired from the session. Oh my word, what has happened here for the Red Bull? I have no idea what's going on here. Leighton has decided to retire from the session, so that is both Red Bulls not going to be scoring points in this one. Absolute disaster for those. Well, Tommy's still in the race. Tommy could still score points, actually. As Josh, yes, Josh has now unlapped himself, but I believe that's probably going to go to the stewards, because that's a little bit messy what's just happened there. So your order now is Rain and then Jacob. Mainbred has got up from P4, he is up to P3 now in the McLaren. Very, very good showing from him in yet another reserve drive. He'll be hoping to get a main drive sometime soon. Lud is P4, he's on the soft, so he will have to pit at some point. Surprised he hasn't chose to pit under the safety car. So soft tyres will be dying of death pretty soon. GRT Andrew in the Ferrari, already up 7 positions. He is into P5, also on a set of mediums. Again, just like I said last week, shows the importance of some of these drivers of just keeping it clean. If you can avoid collisions, avoid contact, you can get all the way up into the top 5. DJ Perks is in P6, obviously after that collision with, incidentally, FGE Ethan, who now finds himself once again behind the Mercedes. Valtteri is in P8 ahead of OAP Big Boy. Decent recovery drive for him. And Mesonator is currently rounding out the top 10. Leon is in P11, but he has chose to go into a set of softs. That is an interesting tyre choice, I'm not going to lie. With Tommy Real just behind in P12, got Slazenger of Volvo and ETE Nicky just trying to get to the back of the pack. They have pit for another set of mediums. I imagine they're going to try and go to the end, and then Josh desperately trying to catch up to everyone. So that we can get the safety car underway, because I believe until he catches up, I don't think the safety car will actually come in. So that's interesting, but we do obviously have 3 retirements. Stenner crashing out of Tamburello, very disappointing, because he had such a good start to the race as well, up in, I think it was P2 at the time, so he's going to be absolutely devastated with that. TCC Leighton has chosen to retire, not entirely sure what's happened there for him, and Jan was having some kind of quite serious connection issues, so he is also out of the race. Looks like, just checking in the Discord, a few people complain about Leighton's connection, so it might have been a connection issue that's forced him to retire, or he might have just been annoyed about what was going on with trying to unlap Josh, which I'm not entirely sure is in the rules, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens in the stewards room after the race, because that is potential for controversy, let's say. But just waiting here to get the action underway. Hopefully we can get going again. I think maybe the end of this lap, judging by Josh trying to catch up. Hopefully we can get going, because obviously none of us like sitting behind a safety car for this amount of time. But this is looking good for the AlphaTauris. He had a great race last time out. Obviously Jacob getting the win. Rain unfortunately retiring, but a 1-2 at this stage puts them in a commanding position for that Constructors' Championship. And Jacob obviously is going to be looking for as many points as possible to help his championship campaign, as his closest rival, Slazenger of Volvo, is down in P13, Leighton is down in P16, Tommy is P12. So none of the drivers really who had a good race last time, apart from Jacob, have particularly fared well in this second round, just showing how topsy-turvy this league can potentially be. But we are getting ready for a safety car restart now. When is Rain going to choose to go? He's got a bit of a gap to his teammate, so is he going to choose to bolt early, or is he going to play it safe and take it up to the line to deny the slipstream? I imagine that's probably what he's going to do. It is. This is a dangerous game he's playing though, because if he gets this wrong, it could be a disaster. No, Rain has gone nice and early. Jacob is in P2. Has anyone got a jump? We've got a very close battle here behind Lud. Andrew tucking into the slipstream. He's going to try and go around the outside. A Mercedes there of DJ Perks is looking interested as well. Can Andrew make the move? Lud covers it off in the braking zone. A little bit of contact. Perks is forced onto the grass. And is that damage? Again, it looks like it might be. Ethan forced wide, trying to get past the Mercedes driver. But I think, yes, unfortunately, DJ Perks once again picking up damage through no fault of his own there. Absolute disaster. It looks like Nicky has lost a couple of positions as he goes side by side with Slazenger of Volvo as he is trying to recover. We've got Tommy trying to go right around the outside here of Leon. Has he managed to make that stick? Yes, he has. What a fantastic move there around the outside of the Tosa hairpin as Mesonator has spun on those hard compound tyres, maybe just not getting them fired up to speed as we ride with Tommy Real here. Great restart from him as he tries to fight his way back through the field. I believe he has also made a pit stop, as we have a very slow couple of cars there. It looks like OAP Big Boy's made a mistake. Valtteri has made a mistake as well and lost a few positions. Absolute carnage going on here as he's lost a place to Nicky there, Valtteri. And these guys are already 2.6 seconds off his pack in front. So it is absolutely crucial for Tommy that he can break away from this pack and try and get onto the back of those people in front of him. And speaking of those in front of him, here we can see the train all the way up to P1. The two AlphaTauris trying to create that grap. What on earth is a grap race? Trying to create a gap to those behind him. Rain leading the way, half a second clear of his teammate Jacob, who does appear to have slightly better straight line speed, judging by the gaps there. But it was like Jacob's made a bit of a mistake. Ethan has got past Andrew there, so I'm not entirely sure what's happened to Andrew. We did miss that move. Tommy has been overtaken by Big Boy, and now Leon is trying to go around the outside. Not able to do it there. The two Aston Martins go side by side. This is a risky little move into the Villeneuve chicane, but it is Nicky who stays ahead of Leon, and this pack is all over each other. Slazenger now goes around the outside. Can he hold that one against the Mercedes? There is a little bit of contact. It does look like Valtteri had a little bit of wing damage there from what I saw. So Mercedes having yet again a bit of a stinker. Yes, he does have wing damage, so he will probably be pitting at the end of this lap. But Slazenger of Volvo needs to try and fight his way through this pack, just as Tommy is trying to do. You can see just how close this battle is. We go on board with ETE Nicky here, and OAP Big Boy is at the head of this train. He is holding all of these guys back. It's going to be crucial for Tommy that he tries to get past as soon as possible if he wants to get anything from this Grand Prix. But out front, you can see the gaps on the top left there. Rain and Jacob have now broken the DRS to Mainbred in P3. That's going to be crucial for their race. If those two can work together and pull away, it could be a fantastic Grand Prix for AlphaTauri. But we're going to look with Tommy here. What can he do in the slipstream? Can he get past Big Boy? Has he got the overspeed? He's got 61% ERS. He's got 10% more battery than the McLaren in front. He's not choosing to use it though. This is interesting. I think he could have maybe got past. Valtteri has retired from the session. I believe he's retired in the pits. Yes, he has, as this train continues to snake on. We've got Ethan getting very close to the back of Lud, who is still on the softs he started this race on. So he is going to be feeling the effects of the tyre wear there, as the top five now appear to be just creating that little bit of separation and dropping Andrew, who is dropping into a little bit of no man's land in P6 there, the Ferrari driver. But we're focusing on this battle now for P4. Like I said, Ethan is the only driver in this top five who has made a pit stop. So he is in a fantastic position as long as we don't get another safety car in this race, because those in front need to create an entire pit stop gap over him. So he might have made a master stroke by starting on the softs and making that early pit stop. Lud chose to go the same way but hasn't pitted, so he's really struggling now. Ethan gets a massive squirm coming out of that corner. DJ Perks picks up a time penalty already, so things going bad to worse to diabolical for him in this one. But we're going to ride with Ethan now. Can he get this move done coming around the final corner? Doesn't look like anyone in front is close enough to make a move. He runs a little bit wide. That might be a warning there for him. But as he comes down the straight now, he's used a little bit of ERS. He's got the overspeed. It doesn't look like Lud's going to be able to do anything in this one. And true to form, Ethan is up into P4 on those much fresher medium compound tyres. Lud down to P5. Tommy is losing positions. What on earth is going on here? Mainbred has lost a position. Tommy has managed to get past OAP Big Boy in the McLaren, who's lost about 4 positions there. He got squeezed out onto the curb. What on earth is going on with him here? Has he got a little bit of damage, or is he just forced wide? It doesn't look like he does, but he is now fallen into the clutches of Slazenger of Volvo. Leon in P9. Tommy has been overtaken by ETE Nicky, who looks like he's got 2 positions for free in that one, as DJ Perks steals that fastest lap. Unfortunately, there's no points for fastest lap in this league, so a little bit pointless, but it is showing that he does have the pace around here and has got very, very unlucky. Where are the battles? The battle out front, the gap remaining very, very similar between the two AlphaTauris, around that 0.7 of a second mark. Jacob using a lot of ERS though compared to his teammate. Rain has over 80% of his battery left available, and Jacob is already down to 20, so showing that Rain might just have that little bit more raw speed that is keeping him ahead in this one. And that battery is going to come in crucial now to help defend, because as we come around the second Ravazza, Jacob is within the DRS. He's choosing not to use his ERS here. Neither is Rain in front. Trying to use that battery. Is he gaining? He is a little bit, but it doesn't look like he's going to get anywhere near as we come down. But one place that will be getting very near is this battle for P7. Nicky trying to weave and duck and break the slipstream. As can Tommy get around him? He's driven past him. A little bit of contact on the straight there, but he does get the move done. And Slazenger looks like he has also got past the McLaren of OAP Big Boy as he tries to recover his way through the field and salvage some points for his championship. It looks like Big Boy, what has happened with him here? He looks like he's made another mistake there. Not going well from the McLaren reserve driver there, as he's trying to score some decent points, but he's now out of them in P11, and having not made a pit stop, he is looking in danger of falling away from the back of the pack. Let's look at the battles. You can see Andrew must have made a mistake, because already Tommy and this entire train behind are already on the back of him. So Andrew's struggling a little bit on those medium tyres now. Obviously Tommy is on 2 fresher mediums. Oh my word, Nicky has absolutely sent it into that corner, made a bit of a hash of it. And he has gained a bit of an advantage, so you'll have to be careful for that if that gets reported. That's not going to go down too well with the stewards. But Tommy has made a mistake. He's on the grass. He's managed to keep it out of the wall. Very, very lucky there. But mistakes creeping in as Tommy is desperate to try and get his way through this field. Is anything changing up front? It doesn't look like it is. Is Nicky going to dump his battery coming out of this corner? He has about the same as the Ferrari in front of him. 0.6 of a second gap, so it's going to depend on just how low his wings are. Has he got the straight line speed to make this move? He's absolutely flying in a straight line, to be fair. It looks like he will just be able to get it done. He moves to the outside, and he's already passed before the braking zone, so an easy move there. And the Aston Martin man is up into P number 6, having also made a pit stop, so he is also in a very good spot in this race, having already made his stop. He doesn't have to pit again, so he may actually be able to get to the end. What is the gap between him and the race leader? It's only 9 seconds, so he will definitely come out ahead of Rain and Jacob when they pit. And speaking of Rain and Jacob, they have closed right up. OAP Big Boy's got a penalty. What has happened here then? Jacob closing right up to the back of his teammate. Obviously, this is going to be crucial in their race because being teammates, only one of them can come in on a certain lap. So at the minute, it looks like Rain will get the first call and the preferential strategy, which could be crucial. Is Jacob going to be considering an undercut? It's a little bit early to be thinking about it just yet. Like I said, I imagine the medium runners will be pitting around about lap 20, but he does need to get a move on if he wants to try and get the track position and to try and get that move. Is he close enough coming out the final corner? You can see he's just recharging his battery at the minute. It doesn't look like he's trying to put any pressure on his teammate. Obviously, his teammate has a lot more battery, so this could be a tactical move from him, not trying to go for the overtake and just trying to sit there, recharge his battery as Leon gets a penalty. And speaking of Leon, he is in the wheel tracks. He's really low on ERS here, so he's going to get past Andrew. Can Tommy get through as well? Are we going to go 3 wide here in Emilia? No, both of them very easily sweep past. Is Tommy going to have a look? No, he doesn't have a go at the Aston Martin driver on those softs. But those softs by now will probably be feeling a little bit second-hand as Andrew unfortunately gets a time penalty there as he runs wide on the exit of the Tamburello chicane. But Slazenger of Volvo, here he is in P10. He's not really making the progress I expected as Mesonator gets another penalty. But I expected a little bit more from Slazenger. Obviously, after his incredible race last time out, I expected big things from him coming into this one, but it's not going to plan. Jacob gets a 3-second time penalty. It looks like he's made a mistake coming out of Aqua Minerale, and that is huge for his race, as he is now, in theory, 4 seconds now behind his teammate, and he's almost dropping out of the DRS as well, having to use a lot of his battery just to stay with his teammate. So it looks like Rain, if he can keep this clean, is looking in a fantastic position in this Grand Prix. We have a yellow flag. That is for QBR20 Josh. He has spun it coming through Aqua Minerale. Very, very easy to do. So, definitely nothing to be ashamed of as Perks has got a 3-second time penalty. Looks like he's got that through Piratella. Lud has now come into the pit, so he is the first of the people to pit during green flag running for a legitimate pit stop. He will be going on to the medium tyres, as is Leon behind. They will be trying to go to the end on those compounded tyres and hopefully get a little bit of an undercut on those around, because I know Lud was starting to drop back and lose touch a little bit with that top 4. Let's go back to the top 4. It looks like Rain has gone a little bit deep there. It will get a good drive out of the Tosa hairpin, but this battle for the lead is really hotting up between these two teammates. Jacob, obviously with that penalty, has now got it all to do in this Grand Prix. Rain can now just, essentially, he can sit there. He doesn't even need to finish ahead of his teammate at this point. As long as he finishes within 3 seconds, he will get that race win. He'll get that race win handed to him on a silver plate. Obviously, however, we did see that last time out. That's not necessarily how things work, because obviously Jacob did get a penalty removed last time out, and that was what won him the Grand Prix. So you never know. It looks like Rain is going to try and win it on track. Everyone wants to do that, as Nicky now gets a time penalty. He is trying to break away from Tommy Real just behind. Are either of these guys considering a pit stop? Yeah, it does appear to be just a little bit too early, but Jacob is the closest he's ever been actually to Rain. Is he going to mount a challenge coming down the straight? Tucking into the slipstream. He's got a great overspeed here. He's closed his DRS though. Interesting. You can see there. Looks like the two Alpha Tauris are working together. He's not trying to get past his teammate. So that could be tactical. It looks like he is just trying to save the battery. I say that. He's now using a lot of it through there. So maybe not. But I wonder why he's doing that then. Because he does need to build that gap. And if he is sticking with his teammate and feels he could be quicker, I don't understand why he's not going for that move. Will be interesting to see how that one plays out. Mainbred is starting to lose contact now a little bit with the two in front, with FGE Ethan on those medium tyres, much fresher medium tyres. He is now closing in on the top 4. And like I said, this is very, very crucial. He is only 3.5 seconds off the race lead. and he does not have to stop again. If he can manage those tyres, if he doesn't lock up too much, if he can nurse them to the end, he doesn't have to stop again. Everyone in front of him does, so this could be critical in his race. If he can just keep this gap, maintain the gap on these tyres, nurse them nicely, he's going to have about a 20-second lead, I assume, by the time that the lead guys pit. And I just don't think they can gain that in enough laps. Obviously, the leaders will be coming in, like I said, I imagine they'll be coming in around lap 20, so they're going to have about 12 laps to close 20 seconds. It's going to be so interesting to see how this plays out. But if Ethan can keep it clean, he's in a great position here. He's out of battery. He is going for the move, though, on Mainbred. Can he hold it around the outside? Fantastic move for the AlphaTauri man as he bounces across that curve there. And he is now up into P2. He's having to use a little bit of battery, though, because Mainbred is coming back at him. Obviously, this isn't an overtaking spot, though. Both of them very, very low on the battery, and it doesn't look like he's close enough to have a dive into Tosa. It looks like Slazenger has now got past the stricken Ferrari of Andrew as he starts to fall back through the field. So unfortunate for Andrew there, but it does look like he should still be able to get some decent points out of this race. And Slazenger can now go on and try and mend some of the damage that that first lap collision has caused him, as well as Tommy. Very, very disappointing for those two. Like I mentioned a few times, both of them finishing in the top 4 last time out. Both of them expected to be championship contenders as Tommy gets it all loose coming out of there. Yeah, they're both expected to be challenging for the championship today, or through the course of this season, sorry. But both of them having a little bit of a poor race today, and with Jacob being so consistent, winning the last time, and already up into P2 in this race, it is an early warning shot for these guys. They need to try and sort the consistency out, and I think that qualifying crash for both of them really has cost them. As Tommy, I believe he is slowly reeling in Nicky. We'll go on board with Nicky here, see what lap time he's doing, and see if this gap is coming down between the Aston Martin and the Red Bull. Nicky with an 18.5 on those mediums, decent lap time, as Tommy sets an 18.9. So Nicky is actually pulling away. It's interesting to see that. What's Slazenger doing on his tyres? A little bit fresher than Tommy's in front. He's doing an 18.5, so he is slowly closing in. But that gap of 7 seconds, don't think he's going to be able to make it do it. Andrew weaving about here, trying to defend from the McLaren behind, but it does look like it's going to be futile. The McLaren of OAP Big Boy is through, and that's to be expected because he is on a fresher set of medium compound tyres and did qualify slightly further up the grid. As we go to the battle for P10 though, we have Josh, who's not stopped yet on those mediums. Obviously saw him have a little bit of a spin before, and Ludd, who has now stopped, tucked up behind him. This is not what Ludd would have wanted for his race, to be honest. He needs to be using those fresh tyres to get the undercut on the guys in front of him and to protect against people like Nicky, like Tommy behind, who will be closing in. They do look to be slightly quicker. We've got a yellow flag. I believe that's Mezzanator. He has spun it coming out of Tamburello. Hopefully, though, that's not going to cause a safety car. He kept it on track. Yes, he has. But we need to get back up to the front. I could have gone the other way there and made things a little bit quicker because this is going to get very, very interesting. We are getting close to the pit stop window now, and Ethan is slowly bringing that gap down. So this is going to be an absolute masterstroke from him. Starting on the softs, it wasn't the strategy that everyone expected, as Ludd has now got past Josh. Not entirely, where's he done that? Coming out of Aqua Minerale, so I imagine Josh must have made a bit of a mistake there. But back to the point we're making, Ethan is in a fantastic position here. If he can keep it clean, not get any penalties, he's going to have a 20-second gap towards the end of this Grand Prix. And with only 12 laps after this one to go, this could be an absolute masterstroke. Is Ethan going to claim a race win on his WOR debut? Let me know in the chat. Do you think he can hold on? Can he do this, or will the pace of these two AlphaTauris be able to keep him under pressure? Obviously, Rain's still not using that battery. He's really keeping that in reserve. I imagine on his in-lap, Ethan gets a penalty. That could really screw him over as this race goes on. It has allowed Mainbred to get very close, but I don't think Mainbred is going to be able to make a move. But yeah, the pace of these AlphaTauris, I imagine Rain is going to start to use his battery now. He's used a lot of it out of there. Is he planning to come into the pits this lap? Is that why he's decided to use a squirt there? Or is he going to come in next lap and dump the battery? He's had a huge spin though. No, Rain, second week in a row, has spun his car. He was in the lead of the race. He had it under control. And that's an absolute disaster for the AlphaTauri. Is he going to come into the pits? Yes, he is. Oh my word, the race has turned on its head in just a moment. That is absolutely critical for him. Nicky comes in and gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That could be critical for his race as well in his battle with Tommy and Slazenger of Volvo. But oh my word, what has happened there? Rain having another shocker. Oh, and Jacob pit on the same lap, so Rain's had to double stack. So things have got even worse for Rain. He's only just in front of Nicky now. Oh my word, TTM Rain having an absolute shocker this season. Is Lud going to jump him as well? So remember, Lud pit very, very early onto these mediums, and he is in front of the AlphaTauri man. Lud has got a huge undercut there. How on earth has he managed that? I think Rain is going to go on the attack very, very quickly. He does get the move back. Does he? Heading into Villeneuve, this is going to be a difficult move to hang around the outside. No. So Rain has got that move back, but he has lost so much time. Remember, Lud was losing ground. He was in P5. Sorry, my voice is going a little bit here. Just going to have a little bit of a drink. Give me... Oh, apologies for that. My voice is absolutely dying today. But yeah, Lud has got a huge undercut there. Jacob with his penalty has now been released from Rain, his teammate. He's got a 9-second gap now. So you have to say, Rain is going to have to pull something incredible out if he wants to win this race. Ethan's pitted again. Oh my word, why has Ethan chose to do that? He could have gone to the end, surely. He could have gone to the end on those mediums. Well, he's just given up track position. That means that Slazenger or Volvo is now in the box position. Can he take those tyres to the end? It will be a very, very difficult ask to make them to the end. I did 28 laps last season and my tyres were absolutely dead by the end of it. So I'm not sure if he can make that last. But Jacob is now your race leader. I'm amazed that Ethan's decided to pit there. I was certain that he could have got those tyres to the end. He only had to do an extra 4 laps from what the default strategy said. But so that is a massive surprise. But he is now ahead of TTM Rain. He is second on track. That spin is absolutely critical for Rain's race. Nicky has got past Lud in the meantime on those fresh soft compound tyres. We've got a battle in the background here as Leon on much fresher mediums is on all over the back of DJ Perks on those very, very worn out softs. Leon's going to send it up the inside of Piratella. DJ Perks leave the space, both of them costing each other a lot of time there as Jacob gets another penalty. Oh my word, he's up to 6 seconds now. Is that right? He's up to 6 seconds of penalties. That's an absolute crucial thing for him. So he has now got to build a 6-second gap to his teammate. If Ethan can get within 3 seconds of Jacob, then Ethan could win this race. We don't know how this is going to play out. The penalties are going to be absolutely crucial here. As Mainbred has now decided to come into the pits, where is he going to feed out? Is he going to get into that big pack with Leon and DJ Perks? I'm not too sure. No, he's going to come way in front of them. Mainbred is going to come out in front of TTM Rain. Oh my, Rain has lost so much time with that spin. It's an absolute disaster for him. That double stack as well hasn't helped. And he is now down to P5 on track. I believe Slazenger will still have to pit. I imagine he'll come in sometime soon to try and get a nice little fresh set of softs on towards the end of the race. Where will that drop him? If we go over to the leader view, that's going to drop him way down into P10, unfortunately for him. So realistically, he needs to try and take these tyres to the end if he has any hope of getting some decent points today. But Jacob having 6 seconds of penalties. Let's quickly try and work out what's going on in this race then. So Jacob has 6 seconds of penalties. He will drop. He will still be leading the race, but Mainbred is within 1.7 seconds of him due to penalties. Ethan will drop down into P3 on track once Mesonator has pit, and Rain is now down to P4 after dominating the early part of this Grand Prix. A silly little error from him as Jacob is really pushing on those tyres, trying to build that gap. Nicky has a penalty. Slazenger is continuing on those mediums, so it looks like he is going for that do or die strategy. He's got to try. Nicky has retired. Where has Nicky retired? Out the final corner. Is that going to be a safety car? Because that could really throw a spanner in the works. Tommy is rolling. No, DJ Perks rolling the dice. Comes into the pits, maybe anticipating a safety car coming out. But it doesn't look like he's going to get it, unfortunately for him, so he will drop out the points, meaning GRT Andrew and OAP Big Boy will jump into those final points positions, but it will allow DJ Perks, if he's got the pace, you can see the McLaren there flying past. That is his target in this race. I'm not sure what he has in terms of penalties. Let's have a quick look. Oh, he's got 9 seconds, so he has to try and overtake the McLaren, and that is looking very, very unlikely with that gap that he's got coming out of the pit lane. Tommy has got past Leon. Has Leon made a mistake there? Not too sure. It's an unorthodox place to make a pass, but on much fresher tyres, he might have just been able to swoop past going through Tosa, and he is now on a charge. Next up for him is Lud as he tries to recover as many points as possible in this one against championship rivals out front. Ethan has now got past Slazenger. Slazenger, I don't think he's going to be able to hold on those mediums. He's losing so much time in this race now and already Mainbred is on the back of him, and surely he's going to be coming into the pits. He's continuing on, so it's a brave choice from him. He might be able to salvage maybe a P5, looking at that big gap that Lud has. But can Mainbred get this move done? He's in the DRS, he's having a look at the inside, now to the outside, but no, he's just being a little bit careful, a little bit wary there, doesn't want to get any damage, because he, without penalties, is one of the drivers really in contention for this race victory. Slazenger, though, is doing an absolute job in defending. Oh, he's made a little bit of a mistake there, though, and that will be the decision that Mainbred needed, as TTM Rain goes around the outside and easily gets that move done. So the top 4 now are all released, all of them on their soft tyres. We've got Jacob with a 7-second lead, but with 6 seconds worth of penalties. Ethan also has penalties as well, so realistically he needs to try and get within 3 seconds. Mainbred is currently about 9 seconds off the race lead. If he can close that gap by 3 seconds before the end of this Grand Prix, we could see a Mainbred victory, a reserve driver getting a race win. Or can Rain, after having so much dominance early on, really looks in control? He's really low on the battery now, so he's pushing so hard to try and recover something from this Grand Prix. It'll be interesting to see if he can do it. We've got a battle forming here. Tommy with a nice little switchback coming out of that corner, but he doesn't really want to get this move done through this corner, because this is going to allow Lud to have the DRS. Or is it going to be Leon who's going to be the next car behind? Very, very close proximity. Leon forced a little bit wide there, but can Lud get a nice exit coming out of this corner? The gap has gone up as he's really struggling on those mediums. Can he use the DRS? Has he got enough battery? He's got about the same, but Tommy trying to break the slipstream. This is going to be crucial for Tommy's race. He's got to try and stay ahead of Lud coming down this straight. Lud pulls to the outside. They're side by side into the braking zone. The Williams has got through, and Tommy is going to have to spend another lap stuck behind that Williams unless he can get something done. Coming into the Villeneuve chicane, Lud, though, wisely covers the inside line. It's going to be a very brave man to try and get around the outside there, but he's made a mistake, and Tommy has been released. Surely Lud is not going to be able to hold that up the inside. No, he is not, and he tucks in behind the Red Bull driver, who now needs to get a move on. He's got a 11-second gap, up in front to the very, very worn medium runner of Slazenger at Volvo. He is the next target, and he is going to be the one that he tries to hunt down with just 6 laps of this race to go. Ethan might have made a mistake here. Sorry, we've missed this. Mainbred has lost the position to TTM Rain at some point. Not sure where that has happened, but Rain is now all over the back of Ethan, and he's on a charge in this one. He wants that race win back that he looks to have bottled, but if he can keep this pace up, it might not be so bad for him. He's in the slipstream, but he has absolutely no battery left. So has he got enough? Ethan goes defensive. He's going to squeeze him to the outside of the track. They're side by side into the braking zone. Ethan has lost the position, and that might just be his chance of a race win over, as he has a penalty. Rain does not, and Rain can now set about trying to get within the 6 seconds of his teammate that he needs to win this Grand Prix. This race is not over yet, with just a few laps to go, as Mesonator picks up another penalty there, having a bit of a struggle day for him, a minute behind the race leader, and in danger of actually getting lapped very, very soon. But yeah, what can Rain do now? If he can close 2 seconds over the next few laps, and remember, he is on the same age tyres, and he's not really got much battery. Neither AlphaTauri really has much battery left available. Mainbred is actually the one with the most, but obviously that penalty, I'm not sure when he picked that penalty up either. He must have missed that as well. So Mainbred now has to get past Ethan if he wants to claim his maiden podium this season in WOR, as I pressed the wrong button and hit everything. Not what we meant to do there, as Josh picks up another time penalty. He's down in P12 though, so it's not really going to affect his race. The battle that we do have on track though, we've got a yellow flag. That is Mesonator out of the session. Will this be a late safety car? It's a virtual one. Ooh, my heart went going a little bit there, because that could have been absolutely... No, it is! It's a full course safety car! Oh my word, this has absolutely screwed Jacob. Oh no, he's going to be absolutely fuming with this, because that has basically ended any hope he had of getting a race winning this one. And those 6 seconds of penalties. Lud and Leon both get penalties. I'm not sure what has happened here. There's been a collision in the pit lane. Penalties have been dished out. Oh my word, this is absolutely huge though. So let's just try and take stock of what's happened here. So Jacob will be in the lead of this race, but with the pack bunching up and with only about 3 laps to go, yet again, he's going to have to build a gap to try and offset the penalties. His teammate is going to be right behind him now, and will have no penalties at all. So Jacob, surely he can't build 6 seconds worth of gap in about 3 laps. That's all he's going to have. That's massive. Ethan is going to be in line to finish P2 as long as he doesn't get another penalty and can stay within 3 seconds of Jacob. So maybe Rain can do something there and hold up the guys behind if they're trying to play tactically there, the two AlphaTauris. Mainbred also with a 3-second penalty if he can stay within 3 seconds of Jacob. Jacob has chosen to pit. What on earth has Jacob done that for? And Rain's pitting as well. What? I do not understand the strategy call from these guys at all. Mainbred is going to stay out and have about 3 laps of this race left in order to defend. If Tommy gets past these guys, I don't think Tommy will. If Tommy gets past any of these guys, their races are absolutely screwed. Tommy could legitimately get a podium in this race, and after the race he's had, I think he is. He's going to jump ahead of Ethan and Rain, and also doesn't have a penalty. I don't understand. Why have those guys come in? I'm actually gobsmacked. That is such a strange decision with so few laps to go. And with Imola being so difficult to overtake around, they're only going to get 1 lap, realistically, with DRS to be able to get a move done. Have the AlphaTauris just tried to play it too smart and cost themselves massive points in this championship? Remember, they were on for a 1-2 in this race. They're now down in 2 and 6, but Tommy is all over the back of Jacob. Jacob has 6 seconds worth of penalties. Tommy could legitimately win this Grand Prix, which is mental. He had no front wing and was last on lap 1. And through keeping it clean and just driving smart, he could legitimately win this race. Rain is probably going to be P2 with penalties. Sassender of Volvo as well, another driver, kept it clean, had a nightmare first lap, had a nightmare qualifying, and he could still yet gain points on his championship rivals. This late safety car has thrown everything in the air in this one. Absolutely crazy scenes. DJ Perks, he is now in the top 10. Obviously has quite a few penalties though. Leon is in P number 8 for Aston Martin. Ludd in P9 for Williams. And then GRT Andrew currently rounds out the top 10. Let's have a look at penalties though. Oh my word. Leon and Ludd are probably, if they don't get any of those removed, going to lose an absolute ton of time. They might even drop out of the points here. There's only 12 runners, so 2 people aren't going to score points. And with penalties that big, it could be those 2 that miss out. Oh my word, and let me just say, I have the Discord up. Jacob is not very impressed. That has surely cost him a race win. We are only going to have 2 laps, so there's going to be no DRS either. Mainbred could legitimately get this race win on track, but it looks like Tommy, after crashing out in qualifying, after having no front wing and being in a gravel trap by the first corner and being last after lap 1, could legitimately pull a Jensen button and win this Grand Prix. This is absolutely mental scenes. Obviously, there's 2 laps to go. We don't know what could happen. There could be crashes, there could be absolute carnage, and I fully expect it with everyone very, very close together and with points really being on the cards here. But my word, we do love the drama down here in Tier 9. A 2-lap sprint race to finish things off. Who is running the show? It's like Michael Massey's a race director. 2 races in a row now. We had a 3-lap sprint last time, a 2-lap sprint this time because the safety car has to come in at the end of this lap, hard-coded into the game. So we are going to get that 2-lap sprint. Everyone, of course, with a full battery. Most people with fresh tyres as we go... Not that one. Back to the tyres, so we can see Mainbred and Tommy on 6 and 7 lap old tyres respectively. We've got Tommy in P2 on completely fresh tyres, but will not get DRS at any point over these last 2 laps. So this is going to be critical. Mainbred in position to get his first ever WOR victory in Tier 9. I don't know if he's ever won before. I don't think he has. But what is he going to choose to do? How is he going to play this restart? Because this could decide the race. If Jacob is able to get ahead and get a gap, he could run away with this one, realistically, with Mainbred being on such old tyres. We're getting ready to go here, though. It looks like he's going to take him up to the line. He goes now. Jacob tucks into the slipstream. Tommy in the slipstream of the AlphaTauri as well. Can Jacob get a move done on Mainbred, or is he going to have to defend? Going down the straight, look at this trade. All trying to get the slipstream off one another. Mainbred leaves the door open. Jacob sends it up the inside. There's going to be contact. Jacob is round. Oh my word. And that, you could see that coming a mile off. Jacob has absolutely sent it and has paid the price Tommy Real is now up into P2. He's got the Alpha Tauri of Rain sending up the inside. Tommy has front wing damage. Oh no, his chance of a race win is up in smoke now as he makes contact. Turns across Ethan. Has Ethan kept it? Yes, he has. Slazenger is now going to try and get a cutback. Can he get anything done through here? It's been a very, very messy race restart here. Absolute disaster for these guys. Josh is off the back of the pack, so I imagine something's happened there. Ethan going side by side with Tommy, heading down this straight. Is he going to hold it around the outside? A little bit more contact. We've got a front wing off. Is that Slazenger with damage? Has Slazenger got damage? Yes, he has. Oh my word, this has been so messy towards the end of the race. DJ Perks is now up into P number 6. Leon defending. We've got a Ferrari and a... What is going on here? Just look at this car park. So many cars getting damage on this penultimate lap of the race. Meanwhile, out front, Rain is within the 3 seconds. Mainbred has got to try and get a 1.2 second advantage over this last lap. Rain has used all his deployment though. We've got Ludd losing positions. We've got Slazenger of Volvo losing positions now. Surely he's got to stay out though, as he is in the slipstream of DJ Perks. Can he get this move done? Coming onto the final lap. Obviously, remember, he does have damage, so this is going to be a very difficult move for him. He looks like he's just going to stay in the slipstream, and DJ Perks will keep that P5, but he's going to try and defend for his life now, because there is legitimately still a position. Leon, out of nowhere, sends it around the outside there. Incredible move from him. We've got GRT Andrew, oh my god, nearly getting caught out by the closing speed. He's going to send it up the inside here. Slazenger's off the circuit. I don't think he's going to be able to... Oh! A little bit of a close there, but Big Boy does get it around the outside. Ludd, he's going to try and get past as well. He's got a time penalty. I don't know who is going to win this race. We've got Jacob all the way down in P11 now. Slazenger loses another position, but Mainbred, he is in the lead of this race. Tommy Real has been overtaken by DJ Perks. Tommy has made a mistake trying to hold on with that front wing. Rain looks like he has done enough though. It's 2.3 seconds a gap as long as he doesn't make a mistake coming out of this final corner. We're going to go over to the penalties. What is going to happen here? So Mainbred will be your race winner on circuit. Can he build the gap though? We've got 2 corners essentially to build a 7/10 of a second gap. So unless Rain makes a mistake, which he looks like he might have done. Rain has damage as well, does he? No, Mainbred wins, but the real race winner in Imola will be Rain. Mainbred comes home P2, Ethan P3. DJ Perks crosses the line P4, but where will he finish? He drops way down. Tommy Real gets a penalty after holding on with that front wing damage. He is your final podium sitter. FGE Ethan on his debut for Alfa Romeo comes home in P4, just 0.3 of a second off that final podium spot. Slazenger of Volvo does get up to P5 thanks to keeping it clean and not getting any time penalties. Andrew P6 with Big Boy in P7 for McLaren. DJ Perks unfortunately down in P8, and it's decided to cut me off before I could finish off the standings. What an absolutely crazy race we have just witnessed, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave a like because that was absolutely mental. Tommy Real from last on the grid finishes P3. Jacob getting spun around on the penultimate lap after that safety car. Oh my word. Absolute carnage, but it will be TTM Rain avenging his spin last week after starting pole. He got pole again today and will finish the race in first position, picking up 25 points for Alpha Tauri. Mainbred, with that time penalty, comes home in P2 ahead of the Red Bull of Tommy Real. My driver of the day for sure. And if he hadn't got that damage on the last lap, he could realistically have won this Grand Prix. So disappointing for him, I'm sure, but still a great recovery drive and will help him out massively in the championship. Ethan P4 on his debut ahead of Slazenger of Volvo, also having to deal with damage during those later laps. Andrew P6, OAP Big Boy ahead of DJ Perks, with Leon and Jacob, unfortunately, with that spin, ending up down in P10. Ladies and gentlemen, what a Grand Prix we have just witnessed. That was absolute carnage. Well, I'm a little bit lost for words at what we've just seen. It looked like the race was in control for Rain, then he spun, and then it looked like Jacob had it easily, then he got those penalties, and then that late race safety car caused by Mezzanator's crash threw the race up in the air and has cost him a Grand Prix victory. I am sure he's going to be absolutely livid in the chat, and to be honest, I don't blame him. After such a great drive, and then the spin, obviously I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. It did look to me like Mainbred left him a little bit of room, but you never know if that's going to get reported, what the stewards are going to say. Obviously, they will have access to more point of views than we did. Whew. Wow, what a Grand Prix. Thank you, every single one of you who's chosen to tune in. Obviously, we will be back next week for round number 3 for Russia, and obviously, like I did this time, I will let you know what happens with these stewards' inquiries, because I'm sure there are going to be quite a lot after this Grand Prix. But for now, TTM Rain is your Grand Prix race winner, Mainbred in P2 and Tommy Real P3. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you back here at the same time next week. I've been xSmithyx. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.